MLS Aces episode 197. This is your host, Tom Sweezy, joined again by Samuel Nelson. Sam, how are you?
Doing good. Glad to be back.
It's been 3 weeks since the last episode.
Has it really? Oh,
it has. It has.
I miss Jason and Vaughn a lot too.
Yeah, because 3 weeks ago it was a you and me episode, and now today it's another you and me episode. Not that I don't love our episodes together.
No, they're fun, but I feel like I haven't talked to them even just as people. But no, we have fun. We have good commentary on things.
I mean, and to everyone listening, obviously, I don't think it was the plan to go 3 weeks without recording an episode. I think just stuff's happened.
Life happens. Life gets in the way.
If this was our full-time job, I think we wouldn't miss a week. But I think it's definitely not. It's definitely not. Unless you're getting paid under the table by someone else, Sam. I don't know.
No, I just do this because I love it.
Well, in a major recap kind of whirlwind of kind of catching up on what's happened over the past 3 weeks, we figured we'd just have an episode where we kind of just sit down, we chat, we shoot the shit about what's going on. Obviously, a lot of major stuff has happened, from transfers within MLS, transfers within U.S. Soccer players, USMNT playing El Salvador last night, as well as, just kind of MLS games going on and everything like that in between. So I figured we try to keep somewhat of a tangent going on about conversation, but I'm sure we won't, which is totally fine. But before we dive into anything, I definitely just want to obviously say, if you guys are new to the podcast, new and don't know what MLS Aces is, you can find out more about us at MLSAces.com. You can follow us at MLS Aces pretty much on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch. If you search, Twitch is the MLS Ace. And if you're watching this now, you know where we are on Twitch. YouTube is MLS Aces as well. So pretty much if you search MLS Aces anywhere, you're going to find us. You're going to find links to me, Sam, Jason, Vaughn, and pretty much everyone else. So definitely check all that out. We have a few new blogs coming in and out on the site as well. So if you want to, I think, catch my immediate reaction, thoughts of the USMNT game, pre-USMNT game, I threw that up there. A few other reactions and a few other blogs as well. And also, if you guys want to help support the MLS Aces podcast, us, the website, whatever it may be, you guys can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/MLSAces. Small monthly fee, nothing crazy. Get in on the group chat, talk with us more, whatever it may be. And then at the same exact time, you can also support us through our sponsor, Added Time Outfitters. They create awesome soccer-inspired wristbands that really, at the end of the day, just really give a nice sum up of your favorite team, your favorite game, all in a 90-minute story on your wrist, right? It can be from, an NYCFC wristband to a U.S. Women's National Team wristband, Liverpool, Arsenal. I think they have 2 USMNT wristbands as well. They have a ton of different wristbands kind of covering and really just taking that 90-minute story of some of their most memorable matches and allowing you as a soccer fan to wear it on your wrist. So if you guys want to support them, head over to addedtimeoutfitters.com. Support us by using promo code MLSAces at checkout. Get a nice discount. Get yourself a wristband. Everyone wins at the end of the day. And that's all we're trying to do, just have everyone win at the end of the day. But Sam, like we said, It's been 3 weeks. What do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about transfers? You want to talk about MLS games? Or you want to talk about USMNT El Salvador?
Do we want to do the build up to this US game, or do we want to start with it? I guess that's kind of where you know what? I got transfers up on my second page. So we'll start with some transfers, right?
Transfers it is. And
the window is shut.
Obviously, yes, the transfer window is shut within MLS and outside of MLS. And
I think Turkey's still open technically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we get a Reggie Cannon move to Turkey since nothing ever happened with him. But
Yedlin's already there. So
Fenerbahce, Besiktas, maybe we get a little action there. Besiktas was interested in Richie Larea at one point. So so maybe.
Well,
Canada.
They know who's available.
But obviously, it's been 3 weeks. There's been a lot of transfers. We don't have to dive into every transfer that's obviously popped up and happened over the course of 3 weeks. But I definitely want to go over some major ones. And I think we'll start with the most recent major transfer of Diego Rossi. Does that sound okay?
Yes, I think that's definitely the most major one. And what was it, like yesterday, the day before?
Mainly why I said Diego Rossi is because Turkey was on the mind, and Diego
very
Rossi
good.
transferred from LAFC to, well, initially a loan deal, but a loan from LAFC to Fenerbahce within the Turkish top division. I think there is an option to buy, and that option to buy is going to be around $6 million, which
cheap.
People are having their opinions about. But I guess first I'll start with that $6 million. You said it's so cheap. Is it too low? Is it right? What are you thinking?
I don't think Diego Rossi is worth less than 10 maybe. He's 23 years old. He's a top prospect in Uruguay, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think 10 million is a very fair value for him. But with a loan with an option to buy, they're cashing in on someone who otherwise they might just be hanging on to, lose that value. It's just kind of something. It's Rossi's step to Europe, and this was his move. And Fenerbahce is a great team to move to, within Turkey especially. He's challenging for the title right away.
Before I throw a little my twist of my opinion in there, Diego Rossi, should he have been sold for more or less than Miguel Almiron to Newcastle?
How old was Miguel Almiron when he got sold?
I want to say he was 24.
Oh shoot! Well, that's not fair.
Maybe I could be wrong about that one.
So I don't know. Oh, that's a great question. Actually, I don't know because Miguel Almiron, he so succeeded in such a different way. He was such a different player than Rossi is, but he was also. They were both on fantastic teams, right? So I don't know. What do you think? Because I actually, you've stumped me.
I think Miguel Almiron deserved. I think he deserved the transfer fee he got when he went to Newcastle. I think what was the fee? 20. It ended up being like 24 million. I think the most expensive export right, was Almiron, right? So I think at the end of the day,
too bad he went to Newcastle.
It's okay. He's starting somewhere.
He's starting. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, Almiron deserved the higher transfer fee. I think at the point Miguel Almiron took over a game wherever he was. Yeah. I think Diego Rossi obviously pretty much does that in every single game he has played in.
Diego Rossi finishes those games.
Diego Rossi does.
He's a finisher.
Diego Rossi also won less than Miguel Almiron did, right? Miguel Almiron got 2-3 major trophies with Atlanta United. Diego Rossi has won 1 trophy with Atlanta United, and it's maybe picking hairs or whatever the saying is, but
splitting hairs.
Thank you, splitting hairs. I think that shows you where my brain is right now. I think Miguel Almiron is totally deserved of the higher transfer fee, but Diego Rossi being $6 million is definitely super cheap. At the same exact time, why I think the $6 million transfer fee for Diego Rossi is okay is the proof of concept. So
everyone's got to have one.
The Colorado Rapids, when they just recently sold Sam Vines, and shout out Sam Vines, I hope you feel better soon. Just broke his collarbone over with Royal Antwerp, so that's not great. But when the Colorado,
I didn't hear that. That's really depressing.
Came out earlier today or late yesterday, I don't remember. But when the Colorado Rapids sold Sam Vines to Royal Antwerp for whatever it wasn't a crazy amount. $3 million. I think he was worth more than that, right? But at the end of the day, the Rapids have never sold into Europe. They have never developed a player within their academy, sold them to Europe, and had them do well. It's never been there. You have to have that kind of first player to go over, be like this. They were made at our club, and now going over there. Not that Rossi was a LAFC homegrown player, but he's been there from the beginning, right? And he's been a star. He's won countless accolades, won a supporter shield, scored a shit ton of goals, and was the Robin to Vela's Batman, right? At the end of the day, that's what it was. I am okay with him going for 6. Do I wish obviously it was more, but at the end of the day, this could skyrocket the next move. This could skyrocket Brian Rodriguez if he turns things around now, coming back to the club. This could skyrocket, Tristan Blackman. This could skyrocket Marco Farfan. Whoever you want to say is maybe they develop, maybe they get a chance to go back into Europe. Exactly. And that's why I'm okay with it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm okay with it. I'm going to accept it.
Well, I mean, we have no choice but to accept it, I guess. But
exactly.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. And speaking of Colorado trying to sell players, did you see that Cole Bassett denied a move to Benfica? That's crazy to me.
Tom Bogert, right? First reported by him. Or I think it might have been first reported by Ives Galarcept and then Tom Bogert, because I think he caught it second or something like that. But yeah, that was big. Cole Bassett.
That's big. $5.5 million for Cole Bassett, and he turned it down to stay with Colorado this season.
He said he wants to potentially win something with the Rapids before he goes. I love it. That's
awesome.
Whether they win something or not, that's a baller move. Like that's like I'm here to win. I'm here to raise anything, and then I'll make my move. And his move is gonna come. That's not like it's a surprise. Whether he goes in 2021, 2022, or 2023, Cole Bassett's a super talent, and he's going to go to Europe. And, see, that's exactly the point. Sam Vines goes for $3 million. Cole Bassett could go for $7 million, and he hasn't really done much in MLS, but we just know he's a super talented kid.
He's got that skill.
Exactly.
Do you think I'm noticing these comments from MLS Ireland? Shout out to that guy.
What's up?
Or girl, I don't know. Do you think Aronson could have gone for more money? I do.
How much did Aronson?
I don't know, but I think he probably could have gone for more.
Whatever the number was,
Aronson transfer
not enough. I mean,
it's $6 million. Okay. Oh, actually, I don't know. What did Mark McKenzie go for?
Mark McKenzie, I want to say he went for like 4.5. I could be wrong.
That's fair.
I think that if Brendan Aronson went for $6 million after one good season in MLS,
it's like half a good season too. He really turned it on the second half.
The Union did a great job in that sale, because if you sold Brendan Aronson for the same amount you sold for Diego Rossi, the Union won that sale, right? At least I think at the end of the day. And Aronson again is one of these proof of concept kids, along with McKenzie, to go for Jack McGlynn, Quinn Sullivan, every other youngster, Paxton Aronson, right? And they just transferred Jack DeVries to
DeVries.
Right? So it's crazy. The Union are doing what we're talking about exactly to a point, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They out of nowhere showed up with one of the best youth academies in the country. Like, just no one was talking about them 3 years ago. It was all about
Dallas.
It's always been about Dallas, but then we were talking about Atlanta's academy 3 years ago too, because they had Carlton before Carlton was a failure on a number of levels, personally and professionally. But they had Carlton and Bello at the same time, and we're like, this Atlanta academy is going to be the next big thing, and they haven't really done as much. And then
they had someone else too.
I mean, I've always been big on Seattle's academy, Portland's academy,
Red Bulls,
of course, and then RSL's academy is nuts. Yeah. So even those guys who don't even sign with them, who just go to Europe early, like they're all amazing players.
1,000%.
So I love, like, low key that, like, RSL can be, but their academy is just sick. I think that's awesome.
But the same exact token, like, has RSL sold someone to Europe?
Personally, no, probably not.
But like, it's so it's like RSL. They have this amazing academy, but are they ever gonna like use it, benefit from it, make money off of it? Like that's where it's like it comes up, and it's like have this great academy. You have the you have every talent you can think of, right? But like, sure, David Ochoa might be might be their next sale, but like Justin Glad, wasn't he supposed to get sold at some point? And Aaron Herrera,
Justin Glad's still so young, isn't he? Like, that always throws me off, just how young he is.
22, 23.
He's still young. I'm going through all these. Now I'm going through all of this.
All the RSL transfers.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Jefferson Savarino went to Brazil.
They did sell him. Yeah.
To Brazil for almost $2 million. That's
a thing.
Yeah, let's be honest. As I'm looking, there's no way. Right? I just I don't know. Like it seems like they're just losing their talent on a free.
Yeah, and that's just not going to benefit you as a club. But that's why RSL is also a mess right now with no ownership, and so.
Oh yeah. But, anyway, poor RSL.
If I'm going to stick on the train of very talented MLS players going to big name clubs in Europe, Tajon Buchanan.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to go to. Oh my gosh, it's been 3 weeks since we've talked. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Tajon Buchanan,
that's definitely a massive transfer.
So it's already pretty old, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But Tajon Buchanan,
everyone else started talking about it.
Exactly. Got sold from the Revs to Club Bruges. He's staying on loan with the Revs until 2022. I mean, good for the kid. He's honestly exploded onto the scene between his performances for Canada, his performances for the Revs. You know, just good for him. That's all I have to say is congrats.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's really blown up. That Gold Cup really opened my eyes because I haven't watched a lot of Revs games, obviously, unless they're smoking DC. But he's just awesome, and he's going to do so good. I think in Belgium, I think that's a really great step for him.
And the fact that him blowing up, when I think about the Canadian men's national team, it's not ever. It could potentially line up like this one day, but I know obviously they play a little bit of a different system. But you could have a front four that has Davies on the left, Buchanan on the right wing, Kyle Larin up top. And then Jonathan David falling in just below them in between the wings. That
actually is pretty sick.
That front four is scary. That's scary good. Again, not that it'll ever happen, but
don't play that on Sunday.
John Brooks, we need you in there now. I guess, is there any transfer that you're thinking of that's happened in the past few-ish weeks that you want to talk about that's just on top of your head?
No. Just I'm looking at all these the most recent ones. I'm really not impressed. Kyle Scott coming to MLS, I think, is freaking hilarious because he told America he was not going to represent America because he was English because he was still at Chelsea, and now he is sunk low. And so I'd love to see Kyle Scott show up for Cincinnati out of nowhere. But I think that's so funny.
Why I find the Kyle Scott transfer kind of funny is he was on a preseason trial with Cincinnati before the season started.
Oh, really?
And Cincinnati were very close to signing him at that point. He was like, nah, I'm not coming to play in America. Said it again. And now here we are, Kyle Scott, because
Newcastle's U23 team didn't want you.
And you're I feel like he's 50 at this point, but
obviously. This is our problem with Twitter for one thing, but soccer in general is that we're starting to find out about these kids. Kyle Scott played his first couple games for the Chelsea first team when he was 19.
So Kyle Scott has. I looked it up because I do all the posts on the transfer posts on Instagram and everything like that. Kyle Scott has played one senior game for Chelsea.
I think I watched that game too.
It was an FA Cup game. So technically he's an FA Cup winner because Chelsea won the cup that year. So technically
28 minutes. That's really cute too.
Yeah. So he in professional team minutes, whether you're talking about a first, second division game within Europe, he has played in 15 games.
Oh, in second division too? Really?
I'm talking for Chelsea, that one game.
Oh,
and then
Telstar.
Yeah. That Dutch second division will get you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious.
Just shout out.
No shit. You know what the greatest thing ever I just learned is?
What?
His middle name's Michael.
Kyle Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. That's it's coming home, boys. It's coming home. Michael Scott.
Football's coming back to Cincinnati, baby. That's it.
I'm happy now. That's really funny to me. Otherwise, no, I don't really have any. Oh, you know what? Mitch Frieda,
we can talk about that.
Was he not on the team last year? Did I not know that?
So Mitch Frieda,
what's happening?
He was on the team. So for those who don't know, Alexandru Mitrita, winger for NYCFC, just got sent out on loan again. Now he's going on loan to the Greek First Division. Pauk. I think he was in Saudi Arabia before that for the first 6 months of the year, or the last 6 months, whatever it is.
I'm shocked because I assumed he was going to kind of be like a big player.
So heading into the season, so did I. But apparently, due to COVID and everything like that, he his family couldn't come over to the States. He was missing his family. I think he had somewhat of a newborn child. So he asked the club if he could.
Holy crap, that sucks.
If he asked the club if he could pretty much stay in Europe, play in Europe, whatever. So first, whatever it was a loan deal to Saudi Arabia. Now it's a loan deal to Greece. It sucks. It sucks as a fan. It sucks soccer-wise, but at the end of the day, you have to respect it, and good for him, But
wow.
Yeah.
Good for him. Shout out to MIC for, letting him do that, too, because they could have been scumbags.
It's allowed us
to
sign 15 Brazilians, so, it's fine.
It's not so bad, is it?
We're going to DP off the books.
For now.
Yeah, exactly. Until he comes back, and then we're in an Inter Miami situation with 6 DPs. The, I guess, move we should probably talk about, and it's less of a player move and more of, I guess, head coach firings within MLS. There's been two.
It's so long since we've talked.
Mark Dos Santos fired out with the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Finally.
Freddie Juarez did not get fired. Technically, he asked the club to leave, and he left to go be an assistant with the Seattle Sounders. So interesting situation there. Apparently, from what I was reading, is like he was reading the writing on the wall. Like he knew like he wasn't going to either last much longer or be fired after this season. So even though Real Salt Lake's in a playoff spot or close to a playoff spot, which is
doesn't matter.
New ownership coming in, et cetera, right? So I guess we'll start with the Vancouver one, since you pretty much, I think, gave your opinion already, but it should have been time.
To me, Vancouver is a team who's just on the precipice of like success. Like they are so close to finally competing with their Cascadia rivals at minimum, because like Seattle and Portland, they're just running train on them every time they play. But like to me, like Vancouver is a good team. Like they've been making, I think, smarter moves in the transfer windows. They just need a manager who has an idea of what he wants to do tactically, and go from there. And I think bringing in Ryan Gauld was a really big move this summer. I think. Cavallini's kind of got to find his feet, but they, who's their goalie? Crepo's their goalie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a very solid keeper, especially in Vancouver. Like that's the right move. I think they have talent. I think it's just about, finding a manager who can make that work together. So I hope that Vancouver has some success, because honestly, I'd like it. I think it'd make it more interesting.
Yeah, I always felt like I was one to defend Mark Dos Santos a little bit, because and you've heard me say it. Yeah. When he was playing a consistent style, the team didn't look bad.
When they played the same formation 3 games in a row, it was great.
They performed.
That's what you said.
They were doing well. They were getting points. But then it was just like, nah, fuck it. Let's just throw in a 3-5-2 and then a 4-2-3-1, and then we'll just figure it out, right? Like, at the end of the day, the Whitecaps overall, and maybe this was coming from Dos Santos or not, like you said, they've made good signings from Cavallini in the past 2 transfer windows, 3 transfer windows. Cavallini, Gall, Caio Alexandre, Diber Caicedo, I think, was recent transfer as well, or Christian Dejome was one of the more recent transfers, and those transfers have been doing well. It's just when your head coach isn't putting you guys in the position to perform and
succeed,
it's just not going to work. And I think definitely the tactical style was the thing missing, right? Maybe he can go be an assistant somewhere. Obviously, I know he came from the Bob Bradley tree. Maybe he can go back to LAFC and figure things out. I don't know. But really, I guess it's bad when you get fired after a 4-3 loss to Pacific FC in the Canadian Championship first round. I
really wanted to watch that game too.
I'm very upset I wasn't able to watch that game, but looking at it right now, I think Ryan Gauld had a brace, and I love it.
I think I said maybe on the last episode since it's been so long, but I'm super high on Ryan Gaulden. I think that was a good move, and I think he's going to bring success to the club. So my God, at least he got a brace. 4-3 loss. I mean, I'm all about the Canadian Premier League though. So
I mean, I
big
do.
fan.
I'm a fan. If you're listening to this podcast and you haven't caught just a random game, put on a random.
You've got to do
just check out a random game because it's very, very entertaining and obviously good for It's going to be good for development of soccer in Canada, et cetera. But a fun time. But also I want to say shout out Vancouver, who are currently sitting in 8th place. They're pushing for a playoff spot in the West. Maybe new manager gets himself a job. We'll
could very much do that.
We'll see. And then
hire Ben Olsen.
No, Ben Olsen.
He just got a job.
The president for the Spirit, right?
Yeah, if only we could just get new ownership and a coach that wasn't a scumbag. That'd be awesome.
Yep. Also, sorry, really quick transfer. Vancouver signed Marcus Godinho, the Canadian men's national team international. I don't know if you remember who he was, but I think last Gold Cup, he was one of the starting center backs for Canada. Not this most recent Gold Cup, 2019.
2 years, yeah.
And I mean, he's coming on from the German third division, so maybe he's a starting center back. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. But just wanted to throw that transfer.
His name on here. That's. I mean, honestly, good. That'd be good. I'm all for it. Again, like I said, I think it'd be better if Vancouver was a better team. So.
I mean, the league would be better if everyone was a great team, right? Whereas that's like
no. I think the league is kind of exciting with Miami being bad. Because they were supposed to be so good. So
Miami.
Did you read that Athletic article?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
Just want to quickly touch on the last head coach firing, Freddie Juarez. I really like Freddie Juarez, and I really thought he was RSL's long-term guy, to be completely honest, because RSL, like you said, Sam, they have a very good academy and they develop from within. And Freddie Juarez from the Monarchs coming up from within, and again had them in a pretty good spot within the Western Conference. So I was a little surprised with Juarez. Maybe not the overall success that you want from a manager, but again, since the early 2000s, when has RSL really gathered up success? Not much. There hasn't been much, right? There's Ramondo. Jason Christ. Thank you. I forgot about
they retired his number. I didn't even know that until I was listening to a podcast recently.
I saw someone put out on Twitter when they were talking about RSL letting go of their head coach. Someone said they should seriously look at hiring back Jason Christ. I had to mute that person. Yeah. No.
Why not? Fuck it.
He's been a failure ever since. He's been a failure ever since he left RSL. And RSL's not in a bad spot.
So, it can't get much worse. Who's the head coach for this guy? Jameson Olave? Hire him.
Jameson Olave, bro.
Olave, I don't know.
Who's the most red cards in MLS history?
Excuse me?
Center back.
No shit. You should hire him.
He played for RSL.
Yeah, he's the head coach for the Monarchs. You should make him the head coach. The Monarchs are good, and he's clearly developed talent well.
All I'm saying is RSL are still in a good spot this season, and they are
so much.
They're lining themselves up to be in a good spot next season as well. So they shouldn't just go, fuck it, Jason Christ. You know what?
Throw money at Jason Christ.
All good things come to an end, and Jason Christ's time in RSL came to an end. It's time to move on. That's how I feel. So I don't even know how we're getting into this made-up conversation of Jason Christ going back to RSL, but it's not happening, and it shouldn't.
Is Wood on the team yet? Is that official now?
Yeah, Bobby Wood's scoring goals, bro.
He's got 2 goals in 12 games. Let's knock it off.
Yeah, bro.
2 goals, 1 assist in 12 games.
I love talking to you about teams that you clearly don't
watch. I wouldn't watch.
RSL, New England, who would the best team in MLS, but
they don't play DC. So what do I?
You're nah.
But you'd be surprised if I watch most games that Seattle plays and most games DC plays. I watch whoever's playing Miami because I like goals. And
I just love
you'd be surprised who I like, but then there's RSL. I'm not I don't even watch LA Galaxy games.
Galaxy are fun under Greg Vanney.
Yes, everyone's fun under Greg Vanney.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I'm Bobby Wood, 2 goals in 12. Oh my God, remember when Bobby Wood was amazing? Transfermarkt says he was at one point worth $4.95 million when he was 24.
That's like 17 Christian Pulisic's. I mean,
now he's worth $660,000.
That's a deal at this point.
Yeah, but gosh, he's 20. Well,
I got RSL to actually retweet me I feel like 2-3 games ago for them because Bobby Wood scored a goal to put RSL up ahead, and he ran over to his family and he kissed his daughter, and it was like this first time his grandparents could watch him play in person. It was like a great moment.
That's awesome. Holy crap.
I was just I was like someone's cutting onions in here and they retweeted it. I'm going to ask you a very quick question, and then we'll finish up transfer talk because I didn't think we would talk for 25 minutes on transfers. But Nicholas Giacchini going to Montpellier.
That's a good one. I like that.
Matthew Hoppe going to Mallorca.
I like that more.
Chris Richards going back to Hoffenheim. Or Eric Palmer-Brown going to Troyes. What's your favorite move?
It's between 2.
Okay.
I like. What was the second one? I like that Matthew Hoppe's going to Mallorca. Mallorca's just fighting to stay in La Liga, more than anything.
Yeah.
But Mallorca's got him, who's going to be exciting. Takefusa Kubo, who I think is super exciting. And those 2 alone would make me watch any game they play. And if I could ever go to Mallorca, I'd be happy.
Do you know who owns Mallorca, or is a part owner?
Steve Nash and
Stu
Holden. Yeah, best friends, Steve Nash and Stu Holden. Yeah, so yeah, no, I was gonna say the American ownership, it kind of made sense. No one else was gonna take him. All right.
Stu Holden dropped the news on Twitter before it was official. He put American Arrow, Sun Arrow, it was whatever. It was cool. I like that. I love it. That kind of stuff. I mean, personally, more relevant to USMNT is Chris Richards going back to Hoffenheim. I love
he's playing time alone is important.
Just playing time, and I feel like we can kind of transition that into USMNT El Salvador.
Oh wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Giacchini finally playing in Ligue 1 is very important too. I really like that someone acknowledged that he is worth playing in the top flight in France, and I think that's very, very good. I think it's a loan with an option to buy, right? So Montpellier isn't great right now. They've got 4 points in 4 games, but now your boy's on the team, so I like that a lot.
He just scores a shit ton of goals.
And I like it a lot.
A Ligue 1 deal.
I'm very high on that one.
Me too. I think also really random MLS connection. Now he is going to be playing with Ambrose Sayongo, the former Montreal Impact left back, whatever he was. But left back.
Team I watched too. Remember?
Yeah. And also France, Albert Elise, former Houston Dynamo DP, just got transferred from Boavista to Bordeaux. So he made the move.
I like that.
But Reggie Campbell didn't. So, it's fine. Whatever.
Well, he was close, though. Remember, we haven't gotten to talk about this. But he was close. He was an hour from it being official. He was going to go to Fulham, and it was going to be him and Anthony Robinson lighting up the wings in the championship.
And
for a team that is – and Tim Ream. Who is Fulham is way too stupid good for the championship this year. Yeah. So that would have been pretty awesome.
The back line would have been 3/4 American, and that's all we could have asked for.
Yeah, and Alfie Mawson. So
hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, that's fine. It would have been 3/4 American and a Welsh guy.
I mean, that's pretty much what all Americans are, like 3/4 American, like plus like
like
Welsh in there. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's
anyway,
talk about those Americans that stepped on the field in El Salvador last night and ended up overall with a 0-0 draw. I will just preface this entire conversation by saying I could not watch the game live last night. So this morning, while I was working and answering phone calls, I had the game on the TV right there, and I was watching it. So, this
he's
TV.
like pointing at TV. He's like, check it out.
I have a whole setup going on, so I would turn, but no.
I love it.
So I watched today, and the immediate time of me waking up this morning and probably very unhealthily, if that's a word, unhealthily,
on the internet.
Checking Twitter immediately first thing in the morning is what I do. Not great, by the way. I know it's very bad for my mental health, but I do it.
Yes, it is.
So I go on and I just see U.S. soccer Twitter burning to the ground. And I'm like, oh, shit, did we lose like 3-0, 4-0? I checked the score, 0-0 draw. I'm like, okay.
Well, actually, it was a bunch of people burning Twitter to the ground, and then like 30 or 40 people sitting on their high horses going, guys, actually, this is really great. Like, and I'm better than you for thinking that way. And there were a bunch of people like that who were like, I'm smarter than you because I know this is okay. And it's like, guys, come on. At this point, if you watched last cycle, we all know how it all works.
So can we take this like piece by piece? I feel like we can break down this conversation piece by piece. First off, not the best result, not the worst result.
Definitely not the worst result.
Not the best showing from the USMNT, not an awful showing from the USMNT. Is that fair to start with?
Yes. Let's put it this way. It was fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. And that's okay.
Exactly.
It was fine.
We had our players who are familiar with CONCACAF away competition play well. We saw Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie probably be two of our better players on the field. They've played CONCACAF competition. I think they've both played away in other, CONCACAF countries and understand that. DeAndre Yedlin.
But never in qualifying.
Yes, but
which that's everyone's big point is that it's different because it was qualifying.
Which is fine, but then so like what I'm saying is like they've at least had the experience, right? You know.
Okay. No, I totally agree with you.
And to me, DeAndre Yedlin, obviously, who's played in World Cup qualifying on the road in every country you could think of in CONCACAF.
Yes.
There's notable players in Gio Reyna, in Serginho Dest, in Conrad de la Fuente, in Brendan Aronson, who have not played in World Cup qualifying, who have not played on the road in CONCACAF, and mixing all that together, they show that they were not used to it because CONCACAF is a different animal. However many times people want to say that and repeat that 7,000 times, it is. And the World Cup qualifying in CONCACAF is worse. And these guys who are extremely talented, and they're talented, but you have to get used to that. Gio Reyna reacting to a firework in the corner during a corner kick is hysterical.
He was not ready.
But
all the cops with like the
riot
with like the riot shields defending him while he's taking a corner. It was crazy.
This is the type of stuff you have to just kind of not expect, but know is going to happen. And
this would happen if you played in Poland or Serbia. This would not happen when you play in England and Germany.
Yeah, Borussia Dortmund, they get rowdy.
Yeah, but not like that.
So that was, I think, the biggest thing is this was a lot of these guys' first times in this environment, and this is not going to be the last time that they are going to maybe be thrown off or not be ready for it or whatever it may be, and they just have to adjust and get used to it. I think later on in the game, Gio Reyna was, and I think later on in the game, like other players were, right? But it's just, this is game one. Yes, obviously game one can turn into game two, turn into game three, game four, and we're ending up like we did last cycle. But I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it was game one. We got a point on the road. It's fine. Now let's focus on Sunday.
I agree. Yeah, it's like there were positives, there were negatives, but like it's a point when Do you watch the whole game live, or did you watch from when the game started to the end of the game, like 90 minutes, or did you get the build up?
I did not get like pre-game or post-game.
Did you listen to the fucking national anthem?
For El Salvador?
Yes.
I saw videos on Twitter that they were going hard.
We were not winning.
No.
We were not winning. It's one of those things where, especially during COVID, there weren't American fans even taking up any of that stadium. That was 100% full, and it was 100% El Salvador fans who wanted us to get smoked. We were not coming out of that very well with like a win. Like they played well, all things considered. And honestly, I was impressed with a number of them and how they took it. I have questions about where we're playing some people, but it was. I thought it was a fair game. Like, I don't know if you want to go into individuals right now or not. Like, where do you want to go from here?
No, let's stick with El Salvador for a second.
Okay.
Overall,
I liked El Salvador a lot.
El Salvador is a rising power, I think, within CONCACAF right now. I think because of Hugo Perez, because what he's done, the American El Salvadorian dual nationals he's called in, and just the kind of the connections he's pulled, right? Alex Roldan, I think, has been their best player in the last.
He was amazing last
2 or 3 international games, from the Gold Cup to last night. Alex Roldan has been awesome. Hugo Perez has given, a friend of the pod, Eric Zavaleta, an absolute kind of revamp and confidence. He's come out and said that being part of the El Salvador national team has given him confidence and a boost in his playing, and he's been starting for TFC. TFC's obviously not doing well, but still at the same exact time, that's big, right?
That's all right. Yes.
El Salvador, they were playing with a lot of pride on the field. The fans were singing and chanting and cheering with a lot of pride as well. But that's what CONCACAF is. You're going to go into the Azteca. You're going to go into Cuba. You're going to go into wherever you're going to go play. And guess what? You're going to have fans, shirts off, fireworks, chanting, drums, screaming, curse words, piss bottles, whatever it may be. This is what CONCACAF is. And these players, guess what? Players before you have adjusted. We've qualified for World Cups and we've done well. We've won. You're not going to roll into El Salvador and win 5-0 like you have against Costa Rica in Connecticut. It's just not going to happen. Like, you're going to have to beat El Salvador 2-0, 2-1 on the road. And it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be ugly, but you still have to get the result. And this is game 1, like I said, so I'm not going to harp on it too much. But El Salvador, a lot of props to them, to the players, to the fans, to Hugo Perez, because they've been awesome, and they were awesome last night.
Yeah, the thing that got me the most about that game was they looked really good. Maybe not like I feel like on the ball is the wrong term, because they were making some mistakes and they weren't that good on offense. But my God, if they cut out a pass and they could loft the ball to the guy 4 feet away with Tyler Adams in between them. They were finding the most silky smooth passes to evade pressure from the U.S. And I was just very impressed. I was like, that's pretty incredible. And then the U.S. tried the same thing, and we would just have our passes cut out. It just felt like to me, El Salvador was playing, like you said, with that. This is our home game against the U.S. This is it. Let's do it. And they did. And the U.S. came out and got punched in the mouth and didn't have a response. Yeah, and thankfully, El Salvador's finishing wasn't quite there. Matt Turner did his best, and I thought the defense played well, all things considered. Yeah. So, it was a good game. I can't get enough of El Salvador's passing. That was pretty incredible.
No, and yes, El Salvador had their chances. They didn't finish. But at the same exact token, to kind of transition into us, we had a lot of chances that we did not finish.
13 shots.
And I saw Matt Doyle say this.
I hope he was not tweeting.
I saw this on Twitter from Matt Doyle that if we had Gyasi Zardes in the game, we would have won 2-0, just because Gyasi Zardes is a CONCACAF experienced striker who knows how to finish those moments that maybe a Josh Sargent didn't. I don't disagree that a guy, again, going away on the road in CONCACAF, Gyasi Zardes at this point is our only striker that has that experience, right? Unless we're calling Josie back in at this point. But I don't know if we would have. Maybe Jazz Artist finishes a goal, right? He does. He just finishes, and maybe we would come out 1-0 with a different striker. But I think a lot of shit was tossed onto Josh Sargent as well in this game, and I don't think that's deserved. Josh Sargent, yes.
I thought he played fine.
At the end of the day, you want your striker scoring goals, and he didn't in this game, right?
Yeah.
But this was the most energetic performance I've seen from Josh Sargent maybe ever in a USMNT uniform. Josh Sargent, to me, whenever you see him play for the USA, he's always just kind of like walking around, like not really involved. Maybe he gets a chance.
He's there.
He's just like he gets a chance and it just doesn't go in, right? Like he just it's like a bullshit shot. Josh Sargent last night was everywhere. He was running with and without the ball. He was getting involved, getting in spaces. He was passing to people in the box. I really liked what I saw from Josh Sargent last night, and I didn't think I was going to come out of. Well, I saw it this morning, but I didn't think I was going to come out of this game thinking Josh Sargent was one of the bright spots of the game.
Yeah, I thought Sargent looked pretty good. Like, obviously he didn't score, but like I thought he had the movement. He made some good passes, but and like the passes he missed, it's like you can't really blame him because everyone was missing passes. But I thought he played pretty well. And honestly, when he got subbed for Jordan Pefok, I thought he played really good too.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about either striker we played last night, except for the fact they didn't score. But but I thought Pefok got really close a couple times, and I thought he looked really good off the bench. I mean, he's scoring in the Champions League. I'm sitting here going, why aren't we starting him? Like,
and then just Ricardo Pepi sitting there on the bench, like
it's going like I scored a hat trick last week. Boy.
All I do is bang, bro. Get me in the game.
He's like, I've smoked Alex Roldan like 3 weeks ago. Let's do it.
So I definitely wanted to give Josh Sargent his comment on this podcast because he definitely deserved it. Tyler Adams is the captain forever and always. Don't remove that captain's armband. I thought Tyler Adams was our best player on the field last night. He did a lot in intercepting a lot of passes in the midfield. He did a lot in overcompensating for a very poor game from Serginho Dest. And again, we saw
Dest isn't a left back. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that he can cut it on his right foot. Like, Dest isn't a left back just because he can play there. And I think we need to stop trying to play him there.
And I'm not blaming a 0-0 loss on Serginho Dest. I'm definitely not doing that. But Serginho Dest left a lot of holes on the left side of that defense that Tyler Adams, naturally what he does at that sixth position, flows into, and he overcompensates and he fills in that hole, and he does it fantastic. And that's why Tyler Adams arguably is probably our most important player within this group. But when you're pushing Dest up the field who gets lost, Tyler Adams is subbing in at that sixth, and you just have a big gaping hole in the middle of that midfield that no one's sitting there. And maybe that's why passes and possession couldn't get held to then maybe turn around and score a goal, right? So, and I'm not a tactical. Trust me, watch me play Football Manager. Tactically, I know nothing, but I can know when you have one player here out of position, one player here to hold that there. That's not good in any sport. Whatever sport you want to talk about, when you got that going on. So
in baseball, ridiculous. There's always a hole in the middle. Sorry.
Center field, just no one's playing. It's crazy.
Done. What is happening? Mike Trout, he got to run over.
So Tyler Adams was once again fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And I want to just say, I personally thought he was the best player on the field for the USMNT, and he did a lot to cover up from a poor Serginho Dest as well.
Yeah, so I'm between Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie.
Yes.
I think, let's be real, both of them are just trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and just pull the freaking US to victory. Like, that's what they do. And Weston, especially playing almost that box-to-box role in every game, he does it all. He deals with the ref. He deals with injured players from the other team where he just picks them up and goes, no one cares. What was it? There was a ball down the right side, and he waved off Yedlin and was like, I'm taking this for the cross in. Yeah. And we just missed the header, like, wide of the goal. And it's like, he wants this win more than anything. I think Weston plays for the U.S. He's like, I'm doing this for everyone at this point. And I thought he played really well last night. It's like, when your two midfielders are doing everything, and they're defending and doing the offense. Like, where's everyone else going?
And obviously,
it's hard.
It's very difficult. And obviously, coming into this game, we're down two of our bigger names. Well, we're down a few of our bigger names, but Timothy Weah, just before this camp, out injured. Christian Pulisic was not traveling, and so was Zach Steffen was not traveling to El Salvador for this game. Obviously, the Steffen replacement is a little bit easier than Christian Pulisic,
yes, it is.
Subbing in Conrad de la Fuente in that spot, Gio Reyna playing Brendan Aronson, Conrad de la Fuente, all at the end of the day are wingers. Gio Reyna obviously.
We played all of our wingers in one game. We didn't have a winger on the bench.
And it's crazy because like Brendan plays like a 10 now for Salzburg a little bit now, like not underneath Marsh. And he's been playing very well there, so I get the Brendan sub, but I like him better on the wing personally. Gio Reyna can play a little bit more central and has for Dortmund. So it's like, it works, right? It's just I don't know. I don't know if throwing Conrad de la Fuente in like his third cap for the USMNT away at El Salvador is the move.
Well, so here's the problem is I think Conrad touched the ball 4 times, like in the whole game. Like, I don't have the exact number, but I felt like Conrad was not touching that ball. When he did, he was like on the edge of the box. He's like, if I can just get one move inside and get a ball off, like, and then he would try some fancy moves, get by one guy, but El Salvador was playing a really solid double, and he was getting hit by the second guy too much. And I think Conrad will be fine eventually. I just felt like he didn't get the ball. Well, and so like that was hard to me. Like I don't know who else do we really have that could have played there? Like I don't know.
I mean, yes, when you go down Pulisic, you go down Weah. Yeah. I mean, obviously you start.
Our left wing depth is really low otherwise.
Exactly, right? So you have Conrad, who I love Conrad de la Fuente.
Oh, yeah. He looks amazing for Marseille. So, like, I was actually really excited when I saw him on the team sheet. I was like, all right, this guy, he's got it. Like, I'm excited. And like, his skill moves are good. And, like, he was, trying his best, but there's just also not much you can
young.
do.
He's
what is he,
young.
19?
But a lot of these guys do have to grow up a little bit faster.
A lot of these guys are young. This was our second youngest lineup in qualifying ever, and like 9 of the 10 guys had never played in a World Cup qualifier before. So, and what was it? Tim Ream and Yedlin were the only 2 that had ever played. Thank God, at least they were defenders. Like at least we had half of our back line doing.
We came away with 0 goals allowed.
So I mean, in all honesty, the defense was the best part.
Exactly.
Miles Robinson looked good. I like that.
Miles Robinson, that missed header early on. I was like, oh, here we go. He scored against Mexico in the Gold Cup final. Let's repeat. Let's throw this back.
So this is killing me because, like, I assume you felt the same way I did. I was like, guys, we're just bigger. Just keep trying to get corners like we did against Mexico in the Nations League final. Like, we just have to be bigger, and if we just keep peppering the corners and like the ball's in from wide, like we'll score eventually, but like we just kind of didn't play that way.
I don't understand, and I don't think it should ever be the case that this happened. And I really feel like this happened last night, that El Salvador outplayed us physically.
They out-CONCACAF'd us.
Yeah,
well, but they physically abused us in a way that I'm not quite sure we would get if we were playing, but like it. And the problem is, and we always talk about this, why aren't we doing it back? Like, why can't, like, Kellen Acosta straight up elbowed some dude in the head last night. Which was
I love him.
But Kellen Acosta is the only guy who's CONCACAFing anymore, and it's like the rest of us.
Him and Weston. I'll give Weston.
Weston always does. Yeah, that's true. But it's like, come on, guys. Like, these guys are throwing elbows, and they're doing late slide tackles and this, that, and the other. Because, but everyone in CONCACAF does that for some reason except for us. Why are the U.S. like acting like we're above it? Like, I've never understood that.
So 2 things really quick. I agree with that. I would have actually preferred to see Kellen Acosta start as one of the 2-8s with Weston McKennie and just kind of see how that works rather than Brendan Aronson and everything like that. And we'll talk about, I guess, what we want to see against Canada in a second. But did you see the quote that Kellen Acosta said to
Rafa Marquez, right?
No, it's a
No.
Hector Herrera.
Sorry, Rafa Marquez. That was something from Bleacher Report this morning.
Okay.
Yes, he literally said, "You're retired. You're not going to score."
He said, "I was like, you're going to let your country down. All these fans are going to start booing you. You didn't even start the game. You're retired."
So here's the thing, because I know Kellen Acosta played in Texas. I assume Kellen Acosta said that in Spanish and then in English to make sure he heard it. So, because he's a savage. Like, that's so awesome.
Kellen Acosta will get you, bro. He'll get you.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely savage. Like, I don't care what anyone says. Kellen Acosta needs to be on my roster.
I've been saying it. Kellen Acosta needs to be. I've been saying it for like 3 years that Kellen Acosta needs to be part of this USMNT squad in any capacity, starting, bench. I don't give a shit. The 23rd man that makes the roster, I don't care. Kellen Acosta needs to be on it, and I love him. I love him.
I was so thrown off last night. We had because we had Yedlin and then we had Dest, and then we subbed on Acosta and he took over Dest's spot.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden I looked and they subbed off Yedlin for like an attacker. And I was like, hold up. Like, we already subbed on Anthony Robinson playing on the left. Who's going to take the right wing or the right back spot? And then I went, Kellen Acosta does it all.
No, Swiss Army knife.
The guy. Yeah, absolutely. And he can play midfield and like that kind of, like, why wouldn't you have him on the team?
So the U.S. on Sunday, so in 2 days, right? U.S. takes on Canada.
This qualifying schedule is crap.
Obviously, it's going to be a difficult game in its own right, because Canada is a very good team. Canada, just to give the listeners, a recap of what happened in their last game: 1-1 draw with Honduras at home in Canada. So
everyone drew last night except for Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico comes away with a late game.
Yeah, it was like a last minute winner though. It's like whatever. But everyone else drew, so everyone's on 1 point except for Jamaica.
So goddamn Jamaica. So we play Sunday against Canada in Nashville, in the U.S. for the first, I guess, at home World Cup qualifier since our mess of last cycle. What do you want to see? Is there you don't have to give me an 11, but you can give me something you want to see. If you want to give me 11, you can, of kind of what you're really hoping the U.S. can do to pull off 3 points. Because if we come away with the second draw, that's a tough look.
It's not a great start at that point. And I know Greg, I was like, Greg, we're on a first name basis, me and Greg, So I think Greggy Poo needs to start. I hope John Brooks starts with Miles Robinson, and for the love of God, play Serginho Dest on the right. And Miles Robinson, who's been amazing in the championship this year, deserves to be starting off of just form. Form says that Miles Robinson should be starting on the left. I think I understand Yedlin started because he'd been there before.
Yes,
like in a away game, like that makes sense. But
Same
I think
Tim Ream apparently that was
that makes sense. And Tim Ream is daddy to
Daddy Tim,
daddy to Gio. So it is what it is, I guess. I guess I have to get used to that. Gio started, so that makes sense.
Has to start.
So I'll accept that. So I just hope to kind of see that solid back line that I come to expect at this point. And then I don't see why Matt Turner doesn't start. Like, I don't think there's a reason for him not to start.
I agree. We'll start with the defense, I guess. That makes sense. I agree. Well, starting in net, I kind of just always had the feeling, and again, I'll promote the hell out of it. MLSAces.com. I put out a blog kind of about my thoughts before. Link somewhere.
Over that way.
I put out a blog about my thoughts prior to these 3 games. So now we're down to games. You'll see I'm completely wrong, but it's fine. I said that Greggy Poo was going to give the goalkeeper a game to play in this window. I said I would have liked to have seen Stefan against El Salvador, but obviously the injury popped up. Didn't know that. Whatever. So I think Horvath I think Horvath gets the Honduras game, in my opinion. But I think Stefan is.
Oh yeah, that's the third game.
Yeah, I think Stefan is going to probably get the start against Canada, just because I think still right now he's Greg's number one, even though I think Matt Turner has let up 1 goal in a USMNT uniform or 2 goals in a USMNT uniform, which is insane.
And the one was a penalty. So, like, come on.
Exactly. I think we get that. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Anthony Robinson, DeAndre Yedlin. Really wouldn't be surprised.
I can see that, yeah.
I think he values DeAndre Yedlin's experience, and I think the Serginho Dest being a left back experiment's really not going well. And I think Greg is smart enough to see that as well. So I think it's going to be Anthony Robinson at left back, and it's going to be Yedlin or Dest at right back.
Right.
I am okay with honestly either choice. The center backs, John Brooks does not play well on the road in CONCACAF, so that's why he did not play against El Salvador.
It is unfortunate that it's just like, yep, that's consistent. We know.
We need our center backs now.
Yep.
This is the moments where I really wish we had Aaron Long. But
oh yeah, oh my God, I forgot about Aaron Long.
John Brooks is probably and should start at left center back. Yes. I want it to be Miles Robinson, but I have a really strong feeling it's going to be Walker Zimmerman.
I'm not against Walker Zimmerman though either.
At home, Nashville.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Like, look, I honestly expected it to be Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson against El Salvador.
Yeah.
They played very well in the Gold Cup together before his injury. So, yeah, actually in Nashville. Yeah, no, all right, I'm hip.
So if I had to make an official guess, I would say Anthony Robinson, John Brooks, Walker Zimmerman. I'm going to go DeAndre Yedlin, and I'm going to go Zach Steffen in net. I
can see I'm okay with all of that.
I think with a healthy team, we're going to stick with that 4-3-3, right? The 6 with the 2 8s. I think
Canada.
I think Tyler Adams is our 6. 1,000%.
He's going to captain us again. Yeah,
100% should. Weston McKennie, one of the 8s.
Yes.
Who is the other 8 you want to see? Because that's
I have to think of the roster real quick.
Because like right now,
you talk about this roster.
Yeah, I mean, right now, look, you can go with an experienced dude, and you're going to hate the name I'm going to say with Sebastian Lletget. You can go with Gio Reyna.
I thought he was going to score last night, and I was going to get sick.
You can go with Gio Reyna playing an 8, Brendan Aronson playing an 8, Christian Roldan, Kellen Acosta, right? You can go with a few of these guys. I just don't know.
Here we go.
I think against Canada, I think I want to see Sebastian Lletget. And I know you're going to hate me for saying that.
No, so here's the thing. Like, we don't really have that many midfielders. And the way Berhalter's been playing Roldan, he's playing him as more of a winger anyway.
Yeah.
So I think Kellen Acosta being the ultimate bench player means he's going to come off the bench. Well, and it sounds bad to put it that way, but like that Swiss Army knife, like
he's the 6th man of the year.
Both fullbacks, yeah, no, absolutely. So like I think I don't foresee him starting unless you expect him to play 9. I guess if it's only a 90-minute game, actually, I could see him starting. So, but I could see Sebastian Lletget starting just because, why not? Like,
I mean,
it makes sense. Yeah. So experience. Yeah. So either Lletget or Acosta. I prefer Acosta. But needing him for the entire game, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's fair. But Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, 100%.
Yeah,
Sharpie those boys in for every game for me.
Take a knife and just carve the names in.
Right here.
The front 3. I think Christian Pulisic easily is our starting.
If he's healthy, he's going to start. Yeah.
I think everyone said he's going to be back for this game. I'm assuming you're going to go with me with Gio Reyna being penciled in as our right winger. Who is the striker you want to see? You want to see Josh Sargent get another run at it? You want to see PFOC in? I mean, Pepe Train, are we going all aboard on that?
I want to see I want PFOC to start.
Okay.
That's who I want to start. I've seen nothing but good things out of him. I want Pepe to start, but that's not going to happen. Like, it's just.
I really wanted this.
Like, this is what I really want. This is what I wish would happen, but it's not going to. Not against Canada. Like, I expect him to play a lot more against Honduras, but we see Pepe off the bench maybe. But I think PFOC should start, in my opinion.
Yeah. Again, kind of going back to my thoughts, I guess, pre-El Salvador game, I had Josh Sargent slated for the Canada game and P. Fox slated for the El Salvador game. So I guess, I was wrong. So Sargent went El Salvador. So I guess I'll be with you and say P. Fox for Canada.
But, everyone seemed, or I don't know, maybe not everyone, but except for us. We think Sargent played pretty well. I don't know, maybe Greggy Poo thinks that I can't call him that professionally, can I? Maybe he thinks Sargent he's gonna get hot that way, but I don't know. I think Pivok has earned this start.
Yeah,
especially in a big rivalry game against Canada, which it is.
I 100%. I'm with you on that. 100%. I think the last thing that I want to really, I guess, talk about on this episode is the. I know it's been talked about before. I'm not the first person to say this, but like the Greg Berhalter hate on Twitter. I don't know. Are you a Greg Berhalter hater?
No, I'm not. He's given me no reason to hate him yet. Either.
The people who go on Twitter and say Greg Berhalter doesn't have a tactical style and
he's got 4 of them.
It's like. I don't know. Again, I don't do me dumb tactic, me stupid tactic person. I'm not good with tactics. But
why say more word when less word good?
Pretty much, yeah. That's me with tactics, and I can even see there's a system, there's a style. He's figuring it out, and he's done pretty well in figuring it out already, winning 2 trophies in a year. Not that those trophies have anything to do with the now. He needs to win now as well, right?
Yes.
A Gold Cup is nice, a Nations League trophy is nice, but now it's time to qualify.
We got to make the World Cup.
For the goddamn World Cup. And that's where I really want to leave this episode off with is everyone who's in my mentions or in the mentions on U.S. Soccer Twitter saying Greg Berhalter sucks and he doesn't have tactics and Berhalter out after a 0-0 draw against El Salvador in the first game of World Cup qualifying on the road. That means you don't know what CONCACAF World Cup qualifying is. That means you didn't watch a single game from last cycle.
So actually, there's a lot of people who didn't. That's kind of soccer has grown a lot in 4 years, and also, there were a lot of there's a lot of people on soccer Twitter right now who are 18 years old who were not watching these games when they were 14. So realistically, there's a lot of people who didn't watch and don't know yet. And for those of us who know and listen to all the former players talk and stuff, this shit sucks. Going to Saprissa Stadium when you have to play Costa Rica and literally the roof above the changing room is bouncing from everyone in the stadium and you just think it's going to cave in on you. It's shit like that. And any of us would be pooping our pants in their situation. And these guys are going to handle it really well, I think. So what'd you say?
No, I was just going to say real soccer is not FIFA.
No. Oh my God, no.
Just be Barcelona, Juventus, Leipzig, we win. That doesn't. No. That's not how it works.
No, that's not it. This is a crapshoot. It's a roll of the dice, and that's why they play the game. And to anyone who is down on Greg Berhalter, I'll tell you this because I've had a lot of people tell me this as a Tottenham fan. After I lost the love of my life in Mauricio Pochettino, and 2 days later we hired Jose Mourinho. And I had lots of friends texting me going, well, I would never be a fan of my club if they signed him. The club is a lot more important than the coach in the long run, and I'm always going to love the club. I will always root for the U.S. men's national team and hope for success, no matter who's managing, no matter who's playing. I want success because that's my team. And if you're rooting for failure, you're a scumbag. And I don't want you cheering for the team I'm cheering for.
Yeah. Go be like Landon Donovan. Mexico's my other team. That's it, That's
scumbag.
It.
That's why he's not the best American player. Clint Dempsey is out here because he knows he's the best American player because he's USA all the way.
Clint, Chuck D, Gooch, Kate Abdo, America.
Yeah.
One of them isn't American, but it's fine.
No, that's fine.
It's fine.
Clint Dempsey's American enough for everyone else.
Exactly.
Texas boy.
I'm good this episode. I think this was a very fun episode. And for not recording in 3 weeks, I appreciate you, Sam, for hopping on a Friday and for chilling. And for everyone listening, sorry, this has been 3 weeks and a day late, but we're here. And the U.S. is going to qualify for the 2022 World Cup. Just keep positive, stay positive, watch the games, cheer. That's it. That's all.
If nothing else, we're definitely qualifying for 2026.
If we don't do it this time, we're guaranteed next time.
Definitely getting in 2026 when we're hosting.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Sam, thank you for the walk off to end the episode. We'll talk to you guys next week.